Hey.
Let's go, Brandon.
Hey.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hey.
Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
You know what they say.
Hello everyone, it's Joel Davis with the United Medical Transportation Providers Group. You are the broker.com and home care access. It's your boy coming at you. Your 6'4", 215 pound, boom, lost some more weight. 6'4", 215 pound Olympic athlete. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is your Olympic athlete coming at you. Still haven't decided what sport I'm going to be, or if I want to be in the men's or women's division. Haven't decided yet. I have not self-identified yet. For those of you new to the channel, this is a virtue signaling website where we talk about everything from medical transportation, home care, broker businesses, everything in between, plus more. But this is for virtue signalers, so come learn on bended knee. Bend the knee and send the virtue. My pronouns remain slim and sexy, along with Terry's, B-I-T-C-H. For those of you who are unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, check out some of the other websites where Terry, 74 years old, slinging hash and making cash and working hard, making me look like a little B-I-T-C-H, because Terry is the man. So much to talk about, folks. So much to talk about. I don't even know where to start. I know it's been a long time, been a long run since the last video. What can I say? How about the craziness? How about the craziness of the world and the way it's affected so many of you guys in your businesses? I see it every day. We've been swamped. We have been absolutely swamped and busy, in addition to managing my broker business, which is doing great because of all the nonsense going on. Working with a lot of people in the NEMT and home care space. Working with a lot of buyers and sellers. The craziness of the world leading to a lot of people selling and a lot of other people buying. So it's this is craziness that we're living in right now. So I'm just gonna ramble for a bit because there's a lot to talk about, a lot of things to unpack, and I'm sure I'm gonna forget a boatload of it, but such is life. Where should I start? First and foremost, let me put this out there, because I am working with so many different buyers and sellers right now. I'm all for have a good attorney. I'm all for have a good accountant. I'm not an attorney. I majored in pre-law when I was at West Point, but I'm far from an attorney. I'm definitely not an accountant. I'm good with numbers, but I'm not an accountant. But you can have the best accountant, you can have the best attorney, but that doesn't mean that they know anything about your NEMT business and buying and selling. Case in point, got a client provider who I'm not going to argue with anybody. I'm not going to argue with anybody. Guy retained my services to do an executive business valuation on a business that he wanted to buy. Came back. I said, dude, you are overpaying for this business. Guy is prepared to pay almost $1.5 million for this business that his accountant is saying, yeah, it's a good buy because of the EBITDA. Because of the EBITDA. The EBITDA is good. Dude, let me put this out there to the White Walker advisors. The White Walkers, they're dangerous. They are a dangerous threat. They're just vicious beasts. They just keep multiplying and coming. They want all that freebie stuff. The White Walker advisors are the freebie experts who advise them. A lot of the providers out there who are driving but writing books and doing seminars, but they're still driving. I can go off on that one. Crazy. Oh, I got this $2 million business. Hold on. Hold my thought right there. I gotta go. Hold my beer. I gotta go drive. You got $2 million. You supposedly have a $2 million business, but you gotta wait. Hold my beer while you go perform this trip. And then in between trips, you're writing books about teaching people how to grow and scale their NEMT business. Laughable joke. Anyway, getting back on point. Accountant swears that this business is a good business, a good sale, a good price at almost 1.5 million. And I'm saying, no, you are about to grossly overpay for this business because it ain't there, bro. It ain't there. But don't want to listen to me because the accountant says the EBITDA is good. So White Walker Advisors, what are the key variables? What are the key indicators that you should be looking for when purchasing a business? I'll throw you a bone right here. I'll throw you a bone. EBITDA is not the key indicator when it comes to evaluating an NEMT business, whether buying or selling. Sorry, man. Sorry, man. Sorry, White Walker. Sorry, man. But what do I know, man? Again, I'm not going to argue with people. You retain my services. I told you, I work with too many people, seen too many good deals, seen too many bad deals. And I'm just telling you, if I'm telling you you're overpaying for a business, I'm telling you you're overpaying for a business. It is what it is. So at that point in time, it's either we renegotiate, bring that price down, go look for a different business altogether, or go start a new business from scratch, whatever. I mean, the guy can afford he's getting financing for the 1.5, but he's putting down a nice little nut. So, I mean, at that point in time, either let's find a new business or go start one from scratch. But no one listens to the Olympic athlete. I don't know, maybe it's because I haven't defined or declared which sport I'm going to be doing in the Olympics, or if I'm even going to be in the male or women's division yet. I don't know. But it's like the in a previous video I talked about one of the White Walkers who came to us. Business was bringing in $400,000 in revenue. $400,000 revenue. The dude is trying to convince us his business is worth 2.4, 2.5 million, 2.5 million, whatever it is. You are absolutely insane. But again, what does this Olympic athlete know? Not much. No one listens to the in shape Olympic athlete. No one listens to him. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like here's this picture. I was in the gym recently. Here's this picture. This is what it is. This is what it is. So many of you're looking at your business, or you're looking at a business, a prospective business, or you're operating your business, and this is what you really are. This is what you really are, but you look at yourself like you're in the Mr. Olympia. This is what you really look like in all reality, but you think you're Mr. Olympia. Here's what you are. Here's what you think you are. And I noticed this later on. Here's me, the Olympic athlete. Here I am, hiding, doing my best to be discreet as I take a picture of this clown in the gym. It's like, but these are the bravado boys, man. The bravado boys go to happy hour, bragging about this, bragging about that. Oh, my business this, my business that. Oh, the cash flow, the EBITDA. My accountant says the EBITDA is so good. I could sell for $2.5 million. We got a business right now that's going to go for 4.4, and it's worth every penny. You know, the EBITDA, dude. White Walker Advisors. What are the key indicators? After you put down your beer, you go finish your trip, and you're done writing a chapter in your book, and you come back, tell me, what are the key indicators you should be looking for buying and selling? If you're writing books and you're helping people and you're giving seminars between transports, what are some of those key indicators you should be looking for? Absolutely crazy. You know, versus just helped I brought two guys together, closed at just under 2.5 million. Win-win situation. Both, I mean, legit business. Closed just under 2.5 million. Looked good. Looks great. Owners are going to stay on. The previous owners are going to stay on temporarily to help with the transition. We're in a good situation. And I know the White Walkers. The White Walkers, they want all the advice for free. They of course they expect that my staff, my team, that me, we all work for free. We work for free. We all work for free. We have people periodically who, I'm about to close this business. I need your help right now. No. You've already crossed the Rubicon. You've already gone so far down. What's that one saying? I love it. It's something that your lack of preparation does not constitute my emergency, especially right now when we're so busy. There's no way that when you contact, so many people operate in crisis mode. So many people operate in crisis mode. They wait for crisis to hit, then they call in reinforcements. And that's why I say, man, half the people we work with, if not more, they go it alone, they do their own thing, they follow the White Walker advisors, the brother-in-law advice. After they've wasted all this money on the wrong vehicles, wrong insurance, then they want to call in the reinforcements. What is that price? How much money are you willing to lose, man? How much money are you willing to lose before you wake up? How much time are you willing to waste? It's just incredible. But my accountant said the EBITDA's good. It's crazy, the craziness we see. It's absolutely insane. Which again, I know I'm all over the place already. I wasn't even planning on being this crazy, but so many things are just, sometimes it's frustrating for us too, because we're trying to stay on point with all the work that we got, in addition to my own business and everything. It's just some of the craziness. So, which, look, I'm just gonna tell you, we are in a situation where I've talked about it briefly with my staff. I'm gonna talk about it with my peeps. I'm gonna talk about it more as we move forward. We are busy as heck, which is a great problem to have, but it is frustrating. It's not without burdens and problems, because it is frustrating when you're having to play cleanup duty. So after the first year, we got to do something. So, we talked about raising the price for one-on-one coaching. I'm going to try my best to avoid that, because times are tough for people. I get all that. But if I have to, I will. Or else I got to find... I'm going to do more of like an application type process, because bottom line is, I'm swamped, my people are swamped, we're running way long on market analysis, which is, that's just, market analysis are key. It is a key asset in helping you with your business to identify opportunities, develop your strategic planning. So, I don't know. I haven't decided yet what we're going to do, but it's either we got to either raise the prices on the one-on-one coaching, which I'm trying to avoid. But I mean, I'm just telling you right now, I'm too busy, and it's a good problem to have per se, but it's not, because I can't afford to have my people suffering. For those of you who I do work with, you're my peeps. I'm taking care of you. Those of you who I've been working with on some separate. On your business, some separate issues and all that stuff, I gotta prioritize. So if you haven't signed up for the additional one-on-one coaching at the reduced rate, then definitely reach out to my peeps and get that done. Because bottom line, we have too many people now. It is what it is. And the priority are my one-on-one client. When it comes to what I do with my NEMT, home care, and all that stuff, my priority are my one-on-one clients. Bottom line. First priority, everyone knows I'm a biblical capitalist. Outside God, your spouse, then your family is business. It just so happens that business funds the whole show. I gotta take care of my broker business, because that feeds the money pot, that feeds the honey pot. And when it comes to $1 million community, I gotta take care of my one-on-one clients first and foremost. So for those of you who maybe I've worked with in the past, you've been thinking about putting us continuing one-on-one, I would tell you do so rather than later, because just strictly off of the number of people we're working with, we're going to be very limited, very selective, and moving forward on who we bring in. Again, I don't know what that looks like, because either I'm going to raise prices or come up with more of a legitimate questionnaire / quasi criteria. But bottom line, when I'm working with someone, I can't afford to have them suffer because I'm taking on too much of a workload at all the time. So I gotta take care of my peeps. It is what it is. You know, doing this is I consider part of my own private ministry, helping people with their businesses and making money and everything like that. That's why I take the joy in many of the victories we have when we get a good contract, get a good deal, turn a big corner, get a good acquisition. I celebrate in that with you, but equally as much, I can't afford to have my peeps suffer. So I got to be. One thing I take very serious is being diligent and responsive to my peeps. So keep that in mind. Quick caveat too. I know I had Dawn send out an email about the You Are the Broker training material. I'm going to be meeting tomorrow with my two partners, Lindsay and Mike. They're both attorneys and they're my partners with YouAreTheBroker.com. And bottom line, because so many people, especially with the craziness of today, the lunacy of the markets and all that stuff, so many of you see the value, the need to have a 1099 contractor-based business component to your model. For those of you new to the channel, YouAreTheBroker.com has nothing to do with Medicaid brokers. Everyone contacts us, and I always knew this was going to be a problem, but everyone contacts us, hey, I want to start a broker business and compete with Logisticrap or MTM. No, that's not what You Are the Broker. YouAreTheBroker.com has nothing to do with NEMT, the regulation, or associated nonsense. So I'm going to be meeting with my partners, come up with a good strategy to make it even more cost effective for those of you serious about moving forward with the training material. That way you can get the material, start learning it, start thinking about it, doing local research, laying the foundation, possibly talking to some people, and then when you're ready to move forward and become an active licensee, then just pay the balance then. A lot of people ask if we finance. No, we're not going to finance, so this is the best option for you. Best I'm going to do. I don't know what that looks like. I got to talk to my partners, but as soon as we talk and figure something out, I will definitely have my peeps send out an email and let you guys know, for those of you who are serious. But beautiful thing about the broker business, if you have it structured like a true broker business, you're not carrying the overhead expenses, the fuel, the maintenance, the vehicles, things like that. Now, and I've talked about it in previous videos, when I started my broker business back at the tail end of 2011, I didn't know my ASS from a hole in the ground. I was just trying to figure it out at the time. I owned a box truck. In 2012, I invested in 2 more, hired crews, paid crews, made some money, but nothing like what we started making. As of 2013, I saw the writing on the wall to start to bring out. I was being solicited, so it's like sometimes I have to be hit over the head to be woken up. So I was being solicited by people joining my crew, my team. That's where the ding, ding, ding went off in my head to just start brokering this stuff out. And then by 2014, I was 100% broker based. So some people who become active licensees, they actually invested in some of their own equipment. I got no problem if you do that, because look, that's what I did. But there's got to be a clear path, a clear trajectory to transition out and be a legitimate broker. That's the easiest way to. I want all of you to be in the position where you work your business and your business doesn't work you. That's why I laugh at all you White Walker advisors. You keep watching my stuff, you consume it, you take down notes, you copy and paste. So many people have tried to copy and swipe our stuff. And you're doing all this between trips. You're giving all that stupid advice. Go buy this used vehicle for $3,000, and you can't even get it insured. It's a 2006. You can't even get it insured. It's too old. No underwriter is going to insure. What are they going to do? Give you a $10,000 policy on a $3,000 vehicle? That's not going to happen. It's insanity. The insanity that we see is just laughable. Absolutely laughable. The goal is to put yourself in a position where you work your business is plural, and the business doesn't work you. I talk about being a creator and not a chaser. That's why I still laugh at the White Walker advisors who are still driving, but then they're writing books and they're I had a client provider tell me recently, hey, there was this guy that said that he worked with you but didn't work out. Well, I don't know who the guy was. That's a classic example where he may have read the ebook or something, never did anything with it, but I mean, I never worked with you, but you read the material or you engaged with my people or through email or something. So, but I haven't worked with you. And so he's trying to tell my client provider, hey, if you need advice, let me know. All the while for the last 3 years, he's had one vehicle. So I jokingly said to him, I said, yeah, ask him how to grow and scale. It's absolutely laughable, the scenarios that we see. So the White Walker advisors, again, the White Walker advisors are just as dangerous as the White Walkers. I got another client provider working with right now, operating in one state, and I said, look, no, we got to bounce. Lives in a neighboring state. I said, no. A friend of his asked him, or was advising him, totally led him down the wrong path. Got 2 vehicles for a combined $80,000 or $90,000. Not the vehicles that we want. Chasing MTM nonsense, not what we want. If we cross into the next state, that is a classic example where there are greener pastures. Reimbursement, even for Medicaid standards, are double, triple what MTM is paying right across the border in this neighboring state. But this is the effects of listening to the wrong people. Or it's everybody, oh, I'm just going to start with my own sedan. I'm just going to start with my own sedan. That's probably one of the stupidest things you could do. I'm just gonna start with my own sedan. Okay, so again, I've talked about this 1,000,001 times. This is White Walker advice. I'm gonna start with my own sedan just to get started. Then you get caught in the hamster wheel and you can't get out. You can't get out because you're not making enough margin. White Walker advisors, explain this to the people for me so I don't have to keep explaining it. If you are strictly ambulatory, starting with your own sedan, you are a taxi service. It's the lowest ROI. You can't grow and scale because you got no meat on the bones. Come on, White Walker advisors, take over. Cut in here and take over for me, will you? But we keep dealing with this every single day. Oh, well, I'm going to do this now. I'm going to do this now so I can get approved. And then I'm going to do this. But it never works out. Again, no one wants to listen to a 6'4", 215-pound Olympic athlete. I just don't understand it. Absolutely crazy. Oh, man. What do I know? What do I know? I go off on tangent. Purchasing the wrong vehicles. Man, I see that every day. I gotta go back to the buying and selling businesses. It's just incredible. It's incredible. Someone who paid me a little chunk of change to do a business valuation on this business. It's just incredible. The business is 100% Medicaid broker. 100% Medicaid. Oh, but the EBITDA. Even though you got to recapitalize the majority of the vehicles. Even though they're not even maximizing all the different types of revenue that the business could be making. The EBITDA. But my accountant said the EBITDA. I know I keep harping on this one, but it kills me. Absolutely kills me. It's like, you got no prior experience. And when I bring 2 people together, this is a different business, but when I bring 2 people together, the reason why I always tell people, we got to develop a win-win situation. Trust me, the seller, the buyer, make as much as you can, but got to be, win-win. Everyone's got to make money. Everyone's got to be happy. And the reason I want to facilitate the win-win is because the vast majority of the time, not only do we help come up with creative solutions to structure the deal, and again, I'm not an attorney, I'm not an accountant, but in the game a long time, but even more so, we work with the buyers and sellers after the closing to help with transition, or even after the seller leaves the business altogether, And then we continue to work with the new buyer, the new owner, to further grow and scale, move in a different direction or diversify. So this is why it's like, I'm not gonna put myself in. So when I'm working with, let's say I'm working with a seller, okay, I'm all for it. Let's get the best deal we possibly can. I'm gonna advocate for you because I don't know the buyer, whatever. But look, at the end of the day, it's still gotta be an honest deal. I'm all for it. Make as much money as you can, but it's gotta be an honest deal. So don't think you're gonna, retain my services and the help of my team, and we're just gonna take advantage of some seller. Because again, A, right thing to do. B, chances are good we may end up working with the buyer / now the new owner. So it's like, I'm not gonna. You gotta play things straight. It is what it is, and you never know after the closing, we may end up working with the buyer or seller, and we gotta play it straight. Bottom line. So, but man, just so much craziness. I don't even know where to go with it all. So many of the things that we've been seeing. Everything from the stuff that we continue to see with the brokers, and I love it. Remember we talked about all the national accreditations, that the national, come pay to get your business nationally accredited, get your drivers certified, get them nationally accredited. Okay, of all the businesses that we've worked with, to just help get contracts with hospitals, rehab, skilled care, all this stuff. Just contracts. Not one single time. I didn't say majority. I didn't say minority. I didn't say 95%. I didn't say 99.9%. I said not one time, as in zero. Not one time in all the different contracts that we've been associated with have we ever encountered anything remotely close to anyone caring or giving a rip about national accreditation. The national accreditation. No one knows and no one cares. No one cares. Likewise, with all the different acquisitions, buying and selling that we've been a part of, not one single time, I didn't say majority, minority, 95%, 99%. I said zero. Not one single time has any one buyer or seller ever asked, ever brought up in conversation. Nobody cares. So I know there's the hopium out there and the people trying to say national accreditation. There is no national accreditation that anyone cares about. They don't care now. They're never going to care in the future, because the NEMT industry is fragmented across every single state. And in those deregulated states, they're fragmented further and regulated at the county level. Some have no regulation. You could argue good, bad, or indifferent. It's irrelevant. So when people are trying to sell you on the hopium and get you to come to the national accreditation conferences, pay top dollar to get your drivers accredited, look, again, I'm gonna play it straight with you. I got client providers right now. I'm gonna pick on the communist state of Cali. In communist Cali, your gurney, accessible vehicles, your gurney, and I don't agree with it, but whatevs. It is what it is. You gotta play the hand that you're dealt. Okay. So in the communist Cali, your stretchers have to be 2-man stretchers, and one of them have to be an EMT. So you have to have an EMT, despite the fact that you're, what's the operative word? Non-emergency. Non-emergency. I mean, think that thing through. Even here in communist New York, you don't have to have 2 people, and you don't have to have one of them to be an EMT. Again, the operative word is N-O-N, non-emergency. But again, in all the infinite wisdom of all the loon tunes, all you loonies on the left up there in communist Cali, the operative keyword is non-emergency medical transportation, but we still have to have an EMT. So I got client providers who are having a heck of a time trying to hire an EMT. So they're having a hard enough time to find legitimately credentialed EMTs to do stretcher work, because everyone knows I love stretcher work, because stretcher work are money makers. So I got a bad enough and hard enough time trying to find drivers with themselves. Finding good, reliable drivers to help me build, grow, and scale is already a challenge. Add another layer on top of that of, okay, I got to try to find some EMTs. Even though we're non-emergency medical transportation, I got to find some EMTs to do my stretcher transport. So that's even harder now. And now let's do something stupid like have national accreditation. And I'm going to pay more money to go through some fictitious nonsense that no one cares about. No one cares about, regardless at the state level, definitely not at any type of a national level. It's a laughable joke. No one cares about. So many facilities right now, look, they got labor issues. They're all short-staffed. A lot of those facilities, here's one, this is one of the key reasons why an EMT is still an awesome opportunity, because this labor issue is a problem for facilities. A lot of these facilities, they used to have, some of them still do, obviously. They in-house their own transportation. Well, if you in-house your own transportation, you got the cost of the vehicles and everything associated with maintenance, wear and tear, fuel, etc. But you got labor issues. You got labor issues. In previous videos, we talked about some of these facilities. They're so short-staffed. Their numbers are just disastrous. Their ratio of residents to caregivers and staff, it's disastrous. They don't have staff to be sending out on appointments. Therefore, they got to outsource it. So that has a huge advantage for an EMT providers. So again, taking those things into consideration, do you really think anyone cares about this fictitious national accreditation that no one cares about? No one cares about. I've never encountered it. I've never seen it in any acquisition I've been a part of or any type of service agreement or contract that we've been preparing. Not one time. Not one single time. Absolutely incredible. So on top of that, they want you to pay money for some fictitious accreditation that is just non-existent. If your state is already doing regulation through DOT, PUC, a lot of that is now outsourced ever since the Medicaid broker industry just exploded through the infinite wisdom of the Obamacare nonsense. A lot of that work started to get outsourced to the Medicaid brokers. That always became part of the solicitation opportunity for brokers, part of to make themselves more attractive and palatable when trying to get these state contracts. They came in and said, hey, we'll take over a lot of the fleet responsibility, the fleet inspections, the human resource managing drivers, the credentialing. They'll take that stuff over. So this is why you see that perverted and incestuous relationship between a lot of the brokers. Here I am. I'm starting to give a little knowledge now for you White Walker advisors, so you can regurgitate it to your White Walkers. So these brokers, this is why they have this incestuous relationship with a lot of the national conventions. Again, I've said it before. I'll continue to say it. Just go look at the sponsors. Go look at the sponsors for those events. Brokers, Southeast Trans, Logistic Crap, now called Motive Care because they had to change their name to rebrand because the brand sucked. Worst broker in the country. MTM, Uber, Lyft, Uber Health. God, these. So they get you into their system. They keep you into their system. Again, I've always referred to it as sharecropping. They get you on their plantation. They get you operating according to their methodology. Sorry, man. You got in business, yes, to make more money, but the core fundamental reason why you launched your own business is for empowerment. financial freedom, mental freedom. I got a client provider who been corresponding with recently, been going through a hard time with some different things, and I told him, I said, look, man, people like me and you, people like us, we can't work for anybody else. We never could. This is why you respect your employees all the more. You respect your employees all the more because, man, without them, we don't have businesses for sure. Granted, a lot of times, especially in the early stages, you come early, you leave late, first one there, last one to leave. Sometimes it's like in my business, my employees were making more money than me, but your earning potential is immeasurable. It's whatever you want it to be. This is why you start your own business, so that you are empowered. And when you put yourself in a position where you are following the advice and the counsel of these Medicaid brokers and all these national accreditation conventions, they are trying to pigeonhole you and feed you and push you into their methodology to operate on their plantation as a sharecropper. That's all they're doing. I just talked about my one client provider who we got him moving from one state to a neighboring state, and NEMT would say, no, you're so great. They were willing to increase their rates of reimbursement by $1. By $1. Are you kidding me? We can go across the state, make 2 and 3 times. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So you're in business to make money. Never allow someone else to control you. And that's what it is. It is control. When you get into their methodology, their system, on their plantation, doing it their way. Oh, I know you're not making as much money, but we're going to give you more trips. Again, I've said it a million times. Many of you are sick of hearing it. If I'm drowning in 10 feet of water, the last thing I need is 5 more feet of water. I'm good. I'm good. I don't need any more. Everything you do has got to be to empower you. No one else cares about your business. And I know that's rough. I know that doesn't sound good. It doesn't give you the warm and fuzzies. It's not pleasant. I know I keep saying, and some people say, oh, your videos are all the same. Stop watching. But I continue to see it day in and day out. No one is going to care for you. And I'm not saying that your accountant doesn't care for you. I'm saying your accountant, all your accountant knows their numbers. The EBITDA, dude, the EBITDA ain't gonna run that business. The EBITDA ain't gonna run that business. And what's the resale look like? What's the long-term trajectory for the industry? Does your accountant know anything about that? Probably not. All your accountant sees in front of them are numbers. So I'm not hating on the accountants. I'm not hating on the attorneys. I will hate on the Medicaid brokers because they absolutely browbeat my peeps. I laugh at the national accreditation, go and wear your lanyards and all that nonsense. Oh, and they try to attract you. Oh, we're gonna get you cheaper insurance. We're gonna get you cheaper insurance. It's better for you to pay for higher insurance premiums and control your own destiny and be able to make more money. You control your own contracts. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Especially when you get hooked up with these brokers, there's all these ancillary charges, additional ancillary charges. Use their software platforms. You get into their systems, whether it's software, dispatch, whatever it is, they control everything. They see everything you do. Even if you were to I've seen this 1,000,001 times. Even if you were to MapQuest a transport that you were supposed to do, and let's say it was for 13 miles. No, you Googled, MapQuested it, whatever you did, it was 13 miles. This is what you would charge. Oh, no. According to them, it was 11.7. And they're going to have it down to the millisecond. And they're going to control you. Deadhead miles, sometimes deadhead miles, they're not going to pay for it. There's some people where if you are not on their platforms and you're able to name your price, tell them the distance, tell them the mileage, you make sure you give yourself enough margin there, because if you take a distance trip, it's going to take time getting back. You got to cover your labor. No, if you are in their system, they're always going to route you and so you could submit an invoice for 13 miles and all of a sudden they come, no. You should have gone this way and it would be 9 miles. You should have gone this way, it would be 11 miles. That's just one of many examples. Now, then the other caveat is what happens if and when they lose that contract? If all your work is on their platforms, what happens when they lose that contract? What happens when they just make any change in their policy? What happens to you? Any change that they do forces you to be reactionary. Many years ago, Logisticrat, now called Motive Care, had to change their name because their brand sucks. So many years ago, they were soliciting us to get dispatching made easy to be compliant with them. Well, Logisticrat was, they're incorporated different in every state. I don't know if y'all knew that, but they're incorporated differently in every state. So they're incorporated differently in every state, number one, but it would have cost us tens of thousands of dollars just to make dispatching made easy compliant with their regulation. But which wouldn't have been an issue initially if that's all it was. The problem was thereafter, any change they make, not only in policy, but to their software, does what? Forces us to be reactionary. Now we gotta continuously be compliant, And whatever they do, any changes they make, any maneuvers they make in their policies, their business model, their structure, we gotta change. That makes us their BITCH. We're chasing them. We gotta adhere to them. That makes us the chaser and them the creator. And you as a business owner, no, you don't want to be chasing. You want to be creating. That's why I tell you, you got your frontline businesses, whether it's the home care, the NEMT, your broker business, make as much as you can, push your money, your earnings legally through your system into your other entities so you can legally move money, limit your exposure to cash, stack your chips, build your honeypot. Anyways, I know I just went all over the place. Some of that stuff you guys have heard before, but there's just so much stuff going on right now. If I was back in my office, there's just 1,000,001 emails there. No way I'm going to get to them all. It's just not going to happen. So, but there's so many good topics. When I do get back, I'll look through some of them for hopefully the next video. But that's where we're at, folks. I'm about to pull up to a destination here in a minute, so I'm gonna give me a quick coffee and head out. So just be careful, man. Be careful of who and what you listen to, man. These are crazy times. And again, the one thing I will tell you all, and I've said it before, is you got a place. For those of you who are listening to White Walkers and the White Walker advisors, you have to quantify and come up with the value. What is the value on listening to this free advice? I'm gonna tell you right now, free advice is the most costly advice. I don't care what anyone says. I've seen it's too much. It's too much. I see it too much, too often. It is what it is. Free advice is the most costly advice. I'm thoroughly convinced of it. I just see it too often. It's crazy, absolute craziness what we see. So be very cautious. Be very wary. Put a limit on it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do it this way because. Yeah, I know that's not what you guys say, Joel, but I mean, I know, but you're just an Olympic athlete, so you don't know what you're talking about. So I'm going to do it this way for a while. If it doesn't work out, then maybe I will. Craziness. Again, we got to change things on our end because we are getting swamped on our end, so we got to limit. I don't know what it looks like. Either we're going to raise rates, have more of a thorough or robust application criteria type process, because we just can't work with anybody and everybody anymore. It's just too time consuming, and I gotta focus in on our main peaks. If I've worked with you in the past, you've been thinking about retaining us for long-term work, do so sooner rather than later, because we gotta start whittling this down because we're starting to get behind, and I can't let my people suffer.
Let's go, Brandon. Hey. Let's go, Brandon. Hey. Let's go.